What started life as the HBX concept that we saw at the 2020 Auto Expo was touted to be named as the Hornbill has made it to production as the Tata Punch. Now this is not the first of micro SUVs that we are seeing, but Tata Motors is really claiming that this one is more SUV than you might think. Well, it's got the stance, it's got the ground clearance, and it's packaged quite handsomely as well. But is this really worthy of being called an SUV, or is it just another hatchback on stilts? And that's something that I'm really keen on finding out. Now, to state the obvious, the Punch looks a lot like the Harrier, and that's particularly thanks to the split headlamp design here. And that really adds a sense of familiarity to the face. But more importantly, it helps the Punch look more butch, properly like an SUV. Given its distinctive looks, you simply cannot mistake the Punch for anything else, and this is a face that's sure to stand out everywhere. The grille is a thick slab of gloss black plastic and gets interesting design elements besides being underlined by a strip of chrome that runs across the face. I also like the liberal use of Tata Motors tri-arrow design elements in the bumper, which houses a set of round fog lamps that function as cornering lights as well. The silhouette from the sides is boxy, but the window line sloping upwards as you move towards the rear makes the design look slightly confusing. Rear door handles are hidden in the C-pillar like on the Altroz, and the execution is even better this time. We only drove the top of the line creative trim that runs on 16-inch wheels, and they look nice, especially with the black cladding on the wheel arches. The rear end looks relatively simpler, though the tail lamp design is quite stylish. The Punch also boasts impressive approach and departure angles, which add further to its SUV status. There's a lot of familiar looking elements here inside the Punch, and that's because these are a lot of elements that we have seen previously in Tata cars, like the fact that the infotainment screen here sits on top of the dashboard, the instrument cluster is part digital, but there's also new elements which look very interesting, like these rectangular AC vents, and like we have seen in the Altroz, the doors in the Punch also open all the way out and stretch 90 degrees, and that really helps when you're trying to get into the car or get out of it. I like the flat bottom steering wheel and its controls as well, while the part digital instrument cluster is informative and easy to read. The dashboard design is very interesting looking too, especially with the central rib finished in white and using the tri-arrow design elements abundantly. The driver's cockpit also feels spacious with all controls spaced out well. The center console looks clutter-free as well, and overall, the interiors are designed thoughtfully. And for an SUV that's just 3.85 meters long, the Punch also offers impressive rear knee room thanks to the short overhang at both ends. Seating 3 at the rear will be a squeeze, but there is enough space to seat 2 along with a well-positioned armrest. Tata Motors has also ensured the Punch is loaded with some of the latest features and connected technology. The top-of-the-line version we drove is equipped with a dash-mounted 7-inch infotainment display along with a Harman-sourced audio system that offers crisp notes. You get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, and you can even play videos or view images on the display via USB or play a game on the screen. Connected features include geofencing, remote lock-unlock, and more via the smartphone app. Convenience features include rain-sensing wipers, automatic headlamps, a cool glove box, and more. For now, Tata Motors is offering the Punch with just one engine, which is its 1.2-litre 3-cylinder naturally aspirated motor that offers 86 PS and 113 Newton meters, and it can be had with either a 5-speed manual or an AMT. I've driven both today, and I can tell you for sure, performance in the manual version is a lot sprightlier. On that note, it's a little surprising to also note that Tata Motors is not offering its more powerful turbocharged petrol motor that we have seen in the Altroz in this car yet. The AMT certainly adds to the ease of driving in city though. On the other hand, the manual version allowed me to make the most of the 86 PS by offering quicker acceleration as I had full control of the engine performance. The engine also feels very smooth and performance is linear, perfectly in line with the positioning of the Punch as a subcompact urban SUV. The engine does have a bit of the 3-cylinder thrum, especially at idle though, and some of the engine noise even creeps into the cabin. Throws for the gear lever are short, and giving the manual gearbox a bit of a workout was also an engaging experience given the quality of the shifts. The Punch was also at ease, sustaining about 100 km per hour, which should add to its highway credentials as well. Tata Motors had also set up a special experience center to allow us to get a feel of the SUV's abilities off-road, and the Punch really impressed me there. The strong bottom end grunt from the engine allowed the little SUV to clamber over inclines, while the excellent ground clearance and approach and departure angles helped it clear tests you would typically associate with hardcore SUVs. These included an articulation test, a water wading test, and even driving over a set of boulders. In fact, this is where the Punch truly passes muster as an SUV. The ground clearance of 195 mm coupled with the SUV leg stance means that you're sitting higher and taller in the Punch than you would in almost every other hatchback. And that really accentuates the SUV-like feel that this car offers. And that's besides the fact that the Punch is also quite nice to drive from behind the wheel. It feels confident. I like the responses from the steering wheel. The suspension is well tuned and offers a good balance between ride and handling both. The steering wheel feels well weighted and offers good feedback, while the suspension setup and chassis ensure body roll is controlled well. At the same time, the Punch also offers a very good ride quality, something that has always been a trait in all Tata SUVs. The Punch thus had no trouble going faster on broken roads and even soaking up bumps, ruts and potholes very well. So my first impressions are that Tata Motors has put in serious efforts to ensure the Punch lives up to the tag of being an SUV. It's also packaged very well in terms of features and equipment, though I feel the option of a more powerful engine would have made it even more fun to drive. We are expecting prices to begin from about Rs 5 lakh ex showroom and go up to about Rs 8 lakh, and at the price, the Punch should be an excellent option as a subcompact SUV. So at the expense of sounding cliched, I can confirm that yes, this one does pack a punch.